There are currently protests happening all over Iran. These protests, from what we've been told by the Western media, are against the Khamenei regime, and people in the streets are wanting change and wanting a new leader. What they're leaving out intentionally is that there are quite a number of people protesting, supporting the government and supporting the Khamenei regime. In fact, if I had to guess, the protests supporting the regime is much larger than the protests against the regime. Mike Pompeo, the former CIA Secretary of Defense, has just come out and said, quote, "Happy New Year to every Iranian in the street. Also to every Mossad agent walking beside them." So it's clear to anyone that understands how the world works and how a certain country likes to meddle with other countries. It's clear that this is a clear attempt at a coup to try and take over Iran and input their puppet. Now, you might be thinking, if they want to overtake Khamenei and his regime that's been in for 47 years, they're going to have to get someone in there that understands how Iran works. Well, the puppet that they've got in the pipeline is a man by the name of Reza Pahlavi. He's the Crown Prince of Iran. I'm no expert in Iranian history or what the Crown Prince means. I don't know if this title is something to be taken seriously or if this is kind of a gimmick title. Long story short, Rivi basically, he hasn't lived in Iran since 1980. He moved to Egypt at the age of 20 in 1980. He's now living in quote-unquote exile in America. There's also a long history of him talking about a revolution and coup d'etats in Iran, trying to take over and install himself. He's also pictured here kissing a certain wall in a certain country. It's quite clear to anyone with a brain in their head, the Z's are trying to input this puppet so they can finally control Iran. Now you might be asking, why do they want to control Iran? Is it for oil? Is it for resources? Well, partly it's for oil and resources. Also partly it's because that Iran is the biggest military threat to this country, and they've also got a grayed out project where they want to take over 7 countries, and 6 of those countries have been bombed and invaded. So Iran, it's a massive rabbit hole. It doesn't just stop with America and Iran in IRAIL. There's a lot of other countries involved. This could potentially pull in Russia, China, North Korea. This has the potential to blow up and become World War III. So I'm against American intervention. I'm against another country's intervention. I'm against Secret Service agents running around all over a country trying to create an astroturf. For those of you who don't know what astroturfing is, it's where a government or a large corporation tries to create a movement and they pretend it's a grassroots movement, but really it's a plant by that country or large corporation. So they're trying to astroturf, taking over Iran. What we need to do is we need to stand up. We need to say no to American intervention, no to Z intervention. Even though I think that the Iranian regime is brutal and it's a dictatorship, the reason it got that way in the first place was meddling all the way back in the late 70s in the Iranian Revolution. So this could be the biggest world event to happen in my lifetime, at least bordering on COVID levels of world event. This has the potential to change every single person's on planet Earth's life for the worse, probably. For better or for worse, probably worse. So I'm going to keep you updated on this. Remember the name Reza Pahlavi. Do not accept this puppet, and do not allow the Iranian people to not be allowed to select their own leader. Even it is a dictatorship and they can't select their own leader. That's a poor choice of words. However, don't allow the Z's and the Americans to put in their puppet And don't allow them to fool you into thinking that they're really helping the Iranian people, because they're not. Anyway, I'm Ali J. Subscribe, watch, share the content, and keep your eyes out. I'm going to be covering this a lot more, as well as a lot of other geographical, geopolitical content. Bye.